Hey, what's happening? Happy Saturday to everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are back. Hold on. Let me get my cup of Joe. Don't want to spill it. Oh, boy. Hey, there we go. Little cup of Joe or Joanne. You know how it is. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, man. Hope you guys are doing good. I'm happy, excited. What can we say, man? Another day we're able to wake up and be here. And another day we get to watch Nick basketball. And we got an early matinee game today at 1 o'clock against the Denver Nuggets. So it should be interesting. Ah, man, unfortunately, my day could have started off a little better. It did not. I got a Nick update from their website saying that they were having an exclusive drop today for the fans. You got to log in and see if you're one of the lucky chosen ones. Unfortunately, I was not one of the lucky chosen, but that's okay. The point is, I had a chance. All you need is one chance. There's a funny movie out there. It's like a horror movie, but it's a comedy. Yeah, and it's in Spanish, but that was the guy's catchphrase. Un chance. That's it. Un chance. Uh, actually, I want to watch that movie again. It's pretty funny, actually. It's about zombies and stuff, and the dude's just killing zombies, but it's hilarious throughout the whole thing. It's funny. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys are doing great. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Shout out to JJ. What's good? Appreciate you, my brother. Hope your Saturday is going well. David L is in the building. Salute, salute. Kaiser Soze is in the building. Happy Sabbath. Blessings to all the Knicks fans. Salute. Salute to you, my brother. Wonder Woman is here. Salute, Wonder Woman. Appreciate you. Trini Harlem Jr. is in the building. What's good? Sherwin is here. What's happening, Sherwin? Hopefully you're having a good morning, my brother. Stream Elements is in the building. They never say anything else back to me, but I see you. Walter Blackman is in the building. Whoa, Walter, you throwing it out there, huh? Listen, I got to tell you, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, is there a chance they could? But it's looking kind of slim. I mean, they're 41-10 right now. I mean, 41-10, 41-30 right now. You got 11 games left. That means they got to win 9 out of 11. It's a tough mountain to climb. Anything can happen, but I'm just saying that's a tough mountain to climb. But I like the optimism, Walter. Let's go. Let's go. Why not? Thank you, Sherwin. Yeah, I consider the first two that those work for me. That last one, yeah, if that's what I knew it was called, I wouldn't be drinking it. Let me tell you. Ooh, okay. We'll come back to that. I see you, Walter. Eric Surreal is in the building. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. Keith Turner's in the building. What's good, Keith? I gotta get another drink of this. Bad Mojo 1860 is in the building. Hey, he says salute Ron, salute FDU. Hey, what's going on? Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for being here. Yeah, that's interesting. I kind of put it out my mind, Walter. Once we kind of got to this point, I stopped thinking about it, but it's still a chance. They still could get to 50 if everything broke right and they got on another hot streak. The only reason I say that there might be a chance is one, obviously the Knicks got to win this game today. They don't have to, But if you're gonna try to go on a streak, you can't wait. You just got to go on the streak. So yeah, they would have to win this game today, and just play some really good, sound basketball. But most importantly, they have to really lock into these next 5 or 6 games, right? Because as you get closer to the end of the season, that's when some teams start to rest players. That's when some teams start to take a look at younger players. And we know Tibbs don't rest anybody. So there's a good chance that the Knicks could win a lot of the later games, the last 4 games, maybe 4 games of the season. The Knicks have a good chance of winning those because Tibbs plays like every game is something special. Uh, yeah, who knows? Who knows, Walter Blackman? Who knows, my brother? Shout out to Pudge Nice. What's good, brother? Hopefully you're doing well. Good to see you as always. Ron Sarmiento is in the building. Salute to you, my brother. I appreciate you. Good to see you. The new Knicks City and Squad is in the building. What's going on? Hey, I am Jarrell is here. Salute, Ron. Good morning, everyone. Appreciate you, man. Good to see you. Guys, once again, if y'all haven't checked them out, you got to check out I am Jarrell's Die Hard Giants channel. Really good, really informative. He did a great job. Today is Saturday. Thursday. What's it? Thursday? No, I'm mixing my days up. Maybe it was Wednesday night. I think it was Wednesday night. Yeah. Uh, Great job Wednesday night talking about the Giants and the moves that they've made up until this point, and kind of the outlook of this current off season. And I don't think the Giants are done. I mean, they kind of sort of are done at certain parts, but there's other needs on the team that they really got to look into. So we'll see how they address it. I know that they did a little restructuring um, with Waller, the tight end that we picked up from the Oakland Raiders or the Las Vegas Raiders, whatever they're called now. Yeah, Darren Waller's contract got restructured, and apparently the Giants are able to save about $7 million. So we'll see what they do with that. I mean, listen, I'm like, I can't be happier, man. My Knicks are currently doing well. They're playing good basketball. My Mets have a really good team going into next year. We just got some really bad news with Diaz. I don't even want to talk about it. It is what it is, man. It's life. And I will say this though. People are making a really big deal that it's an exhibition game and these guys shouldn't be playing in it because this is the type of thing that could happen. What I'm going to say is all that matters to me is that all these guys that are playing in that exhibition game, especially the ones of Latin descent, this means something to them because they play winter ball. They used to having these type of exhibition tournaments, and they go play against their countrymen and all play with them. And this is why they love baseball. These are people who love baseball. See, that's the difference. We talking about baseball, and this is a quick tangent. We talk about baseball at being a dying sport. There's not a lot of interest anymore. There was a big thing a couple years, not couple years, like 5 or 6 years back about how African American athletes are no longer playing baseball. The numbers are dwindling. Now, more recently, in the past few years, they're talking about baseball on the whole. Like, just kids are not looking to play baseball the way they used to, and so the talent and all that stuff, it just doesn't seem the same. Let me tell you something. These guys that play uh, in these winter leagues and come from Latin countries, and it's not just Latin countries, but I mean that they show the passion. And I grew up in a neighborhood predominantly, Latin American, and it was African American and Italian, but the passion for baseball where I grew up, it's always been there, and they take this stuff seriously. You guys, listen. I've watched a lot of baseball, and baseball is exciting to me. It's not exciting to a lot of people, right? But the games that you've watched in this World Baseball Classic, whatever it's called, are way more exciting than just watching regular baseball. So as much as they say it's an exhibition and nobody cares about it, the games that they're playing are exciting. The fans are into it. It's different. So I don't think that's a bad thing. It's bad that he got hurt, but it's something that needs to be looked at. It's not, and it has nothing to do with that exhibition. I mean, we've seen guys in the past get hurt celebrating, jumping up and down, tweaking ankle, land on somebody's foot. They got to relax and control their celebrations. That's in general, because I see that all the time. Guys coming, they're throwing water at them. These guys are jumping around. They could slip on the plate, on the bag on the plate, and break their ankle. Like, you got to be careful. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. But yeah, that was wild stuff, man. But anyway, my Mets look like there's going to be some optimism there, right? My Giants look like they're going in the right direction. The Knicks look like a fun bunch. The Rangers are a team that's on the up and coming. They've made some acquisitions and stuff. They look like they can do some things. I mean, it may not be that easy to put it all together, but New York sports is looking good. And the Yankees, I'm not a Yankee fan, but I do know that the Yankees have a good team. They field a good team every year. The only problem with the Yankees is someone must have cursed them. I don't know. Back in the day, they said the curse of the great Bambino. There's a new curse out there. It's the health curse. Nobody in the Yankees can stay healthy. I don't know what it is. All right. So, where are we? There we go. Geraldine McIver, the first lady of Still Knick fans and the Knick community, is in the building. Let's go. Let's go. New Nick says, I think we go on another run and finish strong. Yeah, there's a chance. I think that's a possibility. Like another run seems almost inevitable because of what I said to you guys as far as how some teams like to rest their players or take a look at some of their young talent. The Knicks just keep playing dudes. Now, last year we saw some of it because it was what it was, and the Knicks didn't have much to play for, and so we got to see more of Obi and Quickly in those last few games, but this year is different. So don't expect to see that happen for us. Real Yanez Entertainment is in the building. What's good? Appreciate you. And if I didn't say it before, guys, which I probably didn't, definitely check out and support all of these new up and coming content creators that we have in the mix in the Knick community. The organic podcast. I'm feeling like I'm missing a word in there. It's organic. I forgot already. Guys, listen, I don't joke about this. My memory is trash bags. It's organic something podcast. Why am I missing? Because I want to say organic Nick podcast, but that's wrong. It's organic. Man, guys, listen. I'm trying to show love, but I forget things, man. But anyway, let me. I'll take a look, man, because I can't be this way, man. I got to get it together, man. I need some ginkgo biloba, some vitamin B, something. Help me, please. Oh man. Let's see here. Well, when you don't know the right name, it's hard to type it in, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna get that, guys. Don't you worry about it. I'm gonna get it because I can't be doing that to my fellow brethren out there. It's not right. I can't sleep. Won't sleep. I won't stop. This is how much I care, guys. I'm affecting my show because I know you guys are waiting to hear me talk about stuff, and we get into it. And I gotta find this because you know what? It's just how it is. It's how I am. Organic Fanatics. I knew there was something wrong there. I was like, I'm missing something. Organic Fanatics podcast on YouTube. Support these guys, up and coming. And the Knick fans, and they're talking about the game, and it's entertaining, and I like the conversation. So definitely support them. Dwayne Dennis is in the building. What's good? Salute to you, my brother. Lion of Judah is in the building. Shabbat Shalom. What's good? I appreciate you. I hope you're doing all right. Um, I know, Sherwin. We listen. Like I said, all the Knicks fans out there, be careful what you wish for, man. We want Dallas to lose, but we don't want Dallas to lose too much. Dallas need to get it together. And who knows, man? Dallas might be trying to tank on the low. Not really, but you know what I mean. I like to say that because they're not looking too great. I don't know. I hear you, Prudge. Yes, I hear you. I don't, we things have changed a lot. Like the dynamic has changed so much. Yeah, that's one gonna hold on to for a minute. I know, Sherwin. A lot of people feel that way. A lot of people feel that way, but that's hilarious, D-Boy. That's good. Hey, Sam Grandison in the building. Salute. He said, I always love baseball. Peace and blessings to the chat and Ron. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah. Diaz was a freak injury. Agreed. Almighty Finesse is in the building. What's good, my brother? Hope you're doing all right. Wow. Yeah, another one, huh? 50 and 32. Okay. Okay. Thank you, man. I know I wound up I should have I'm sure you probably put it in the chat quicker than it was for me to go find it. I appreciate you. Yeah, yeah. Well, I try. Uh uh Jay Boogie's in the building. Salute. He said, good morning to this beautiful day of life. Shout out to the biggest, most loyal, respectful people in sports. Blessings, health, and happiness, Ron, and your family. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you, Jay Boogie. That's a good point. That's a good thought. JJ says the West Coast team playing a 1 p.m. start in East Coast should benefit the Knicks. Yeah, maybe that might work in our favor. Yeah. May the odds be forever in your favor. Um, I don't doubt it. That's something we got to watch, man, because these refs have been making some crazy calls all year, and now we have to go up against the number 1 team in the West. So we'll watch. We'll see. We'll see how the NBA creates their narratives, right? Because we used to always say in the past, the good teams, the Steph Curry teams, the LeBron James teams, when they were good teams, they get all the calls, right? Because that's NBA wants them on top. And I'm a conspiracy theorist. I believe it. They got to create the buzz. They want to generate the stuff. They want to find that want to get the nice playoff matchups, all that stuff. So we'll see. And Denver is a new one that's really kind of crept up and is surprising. So maybe the NBA is like, okay, we got to get behind Denver and get that push. They're playing well. You know what I mean? Things are changing. Let's watch. Ashley Inc. is in the building. What's going on, Wiz? He said, I hope Tibbs keeps Deuce in the rotation, even if Brunson is healthy. A 10-man rotation is tough for him, but it would keep the guards fresh for the playoffs, a viable, more experienced option if needed. Well, I'm going to get into that in a little bit, too. That's a good point. Yeah, I know, JJ. We'll be all right. All right, so let me do this. Let me put this in the Chizat. If anybody wants to jump on and chop it up for a little bit, we'll definitely be talking these Knicks. This show, I don't know, maybe I'll do an hour to hour and a half because the Knicks play at 1. But obviously it's gonna be condensed. So fortunately for the Mets fans, you can always cheer for the real New York team without feeling like a traitor. The bandwagon has space. You guys ever seen the John Cena memes? Like, where's John Cena? This is what I feel like when I'm looking at this message from Wiz Ashley. What did he say something? Because I don't think he said anything. I don't think you said anything, Wiz. So I must have just read nothing. I read no message right there. I love it. Oh man, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. Um, thank you. I appreciate that so much, man. Thank you. Yeah, we still we taking it day by day. There's been some better days uh in this past week, but there's been a couple bad ones too. It is what it is. I'm just hoping that next week becomes more, days that are increased with happiness and better health, and then hopefully by I guess in about 2 weeks or so, we'll finish this whole campaign, and then we'll be able to uh, do an appointment to get her these treatments, and I hope these treatments are life changing. I don't want these doctors selling us dreams, but what are you going to do? It is what it is. I mean, that's the only place we can find help outside of what we can do as far as you know changing your sleeping patterns and changing your diet and just doing what you can to better your own body so that your body works towards getting healthy and doing better for you. So yeah, outside of that, we got to believe in some of these doctors, as what they say. Hopefully it's the truth. Worst part is, like, if it's not the truth, not only do you not get the benefit out of it, but then you're paying money to them because they don't take insurance. So it's horrible. This that's the big issue with this government and the world that we live in. Is the type of service you get, especially for these privatized doctors that don't take insurance. So that's something. Let's see. Hey, D's World of Hoops, what's good? Salute to you, my brother. Guys, I don't have to tell you. You already know D's show is popping. You know what I mean? You can see how it started. From the moment it started, you knew the plan he had to make that show about the fans and the chat and really take it to a different perspective, a different level. I think he's done a great job of doing that. I mean, I think at this point, if I'm not mistaken, he's over nine. Am I not mistaken? I think I'm right. I think he's over 900 subscribers. He's on his way to 1,000. He'll be there any day. So yeah, man. Peace and love to my man D and his show D's World of Hoops, man. Check it out on YouTube. If you haven't seen it already, what are you doing? What are you doing? CAA Mafia is in the building. Salute. Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for being here. Yep, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate you guys once again. D Moore, uh, you know, Lion of Judah. Thank you, JJ. Uh, yeah, yeah, he is. He is. Oh, I don't know why I saw something. I felt like I saw over 900, but hey, 815. Okay, man, I pushed you back a little bit longer. So that just means you need another week or two to get to 1,000. That's all. Shout out to you, my brother. Um, oh, come on. I don't want to see this. This is nasty. This is like spam. Here comes the judge, 27-time world champion, New York Yankees. We may even have no. First off, you calm down. You're not getting Otani. If the Mets don't get Otani, Otani's going to like San Diego or Los Angeles. But the Yankees ain't getting Otani. Relax. He deserves to be with the best team. You're right. On the Mets. That's where he needs to be. Thank you. Thank you for pointing it out. That's big of you from a Yankee fan. Hmm. Wait. Uh-oh. Is this what's going on? Because I didn't get an update or anything. And I didn't really go checking. Is Brunson back today? Let me see. Let me see the injury report. I get scared, man. I don't know about these Knicks. I don't know. I don't know, man. It says, okay, that was 17 hours ago. So I don't have the most updated information here. Yeah, I still got him out. So, but if anybody knows if that's true. It's confirmed that Brunson is back. Definitely let me know, man, because that's interesting. I don't really want him to be back, but let's see what's going on. Let me get Sam in here. Sam,
Hey,
are you there,
Ron,
Sam?
oh yeah, I'm here. I got a surprise for you once I cut the camera on, because I heard you talking about the Mets, but I'm a fan of the real best team in baseball.
Here we
So
go.
I got you, Ron. Being a
Oh
Braves fan,
no. Oh
being from
no.
Atlanta, just certain things, you have to show off, show out when you come to play.
Oh hell no, Sam. Say it
There
ain't
you
so,
go.
brother.
Hey,
I
hey,
like
Ron,
you too.
now listen, Ron. I rooted for the Mets for a couple of years for good reason. But you know where my heart lies, Ron. Unfortunately.
Nah, man. Listen, look, I can't be mad. I don't love this new Atlanta. Like the squad, the players, what they got out there is good. The Atlanta team is a good looking team. I don't necessarily love their cocky little attitude. They ain't
You don't
Atlanta
like the
from
top
old.
on, Ron? Come on, you don't like the top
Nah,
on?
man.
Oh,
I
come
don't
on,
know, man.
Ron.
I don't know. Listen,
Come
I
on.
respected the old team because I hated them, but I respected them because listen, Chipper loved the Mets so much. He named his kid Shea. I gotta look at that and say, okay, all right, I respect it, but I don't
Come
know.
on, Ron.
Ah.
This is the best team in baseball. Come on. We got robbed last year. It's all good. We bounced back. You gotta take a year off. We had some injuries. Acuna's 100%. We'll
Oh
be all right.
man.
We'll be all
Oh
right.
Jesus. I don't know, man. I don't know how JJ's. I'm with you, brother. I don't know, man. Like
Listen, I
we've been
believed
through
in
it.
the Mets. When I did believe in the Mets choked. When I believed in the Mets, they choked in the World Series. I was rooting for them.
Yeah. That's
So
true. They had their
I had
moment.
to,
Oh,
it's
okay.
all
All
good.
right. So Ashley, I mean, should I say Wiz? Wiz says Brunson is listed as doubtful right now, which if I was coaching would mean at least another rest day. Yeah, man.
Popper said he's available. Steve
Yeah,
Popper.
of course. Listen, if he if it's a like
Uh,
questionable, then Brunson's gonna play. But I don't think that's a good thing. Like these guys, whether it be the front office, somebody got to stop these guys. Somebody got to stop Tibbs if he's going to do something too crazy. Somebody got to stop these players if they're going to not only hurt themselves but hurt the team. I don't know if Brunson needs to come back for this game, man. Would it be helpful? Yeah, but what's the point? What's the point if he's not gonna be 100% and could risk injuring him? Let me tell you something. If Brunson comes back in this game, I don't even want to say it. Let me tell you something. I don't want to say it. Let's just hope for the best.
because
Let's hope for the best.
they're claiming he practiced in full yesterday and that he's going to participate in warm-ups and potentially play tonight or today. So a few hours.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. It is what it is. You know what, Sam? Let me pay some bills, like they like to say. Even though I'm not paying bills, there's no advertisements. Not getting money for this, but let me hit the intro real quick, just so I can say I did it. Right back after this. Oh, my bad. I always forget you guys are here with me. Sometimes, man, let's get caught up in it. You know what I mean? Is what it is.
So good. Good intro, Ron. Solid intro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's all right. Francisco Carrillo is in the building. Buenos dias. What's going on, brother? Hopefully you're doing all right. Good to see you. Agent Super Argo is here as well. Salute to you, my brother. Hopefully everything's going good with you. Um, okay, Agent Super Argo says Tibbs said they threw everything at Brunson with a full practice Thursday. He looks good, but Tibbs said he'll remain questionable up until game time, which means he'll play. All
Yeah.
right, guys.
I was about to say we
Yeah,
know what
so
that Yeah.
Oh man. Real King is in the building. Salute my brother. I appreciate you. Good to see you. Oh, get out of here, Wiz. Whatever, man. You haven't
See, I
seen
didn't come
anything. When
at
I
you
do,
like that, Ron. See, I didn't come
you know what
at
I
you
mean?
like that.
Wiz
You gotta respect
sideways.
the
See,
Braves, man.
that's the reason I don't like the Yankees, because the
See?
fans. Listen, when I was young, I told people this a long time ago. I'm a Met fan, but I love New York. Why wouldn't I? I support and root for New York. I never had a problem with that Yankee team. Back in the 90s, them guys, they had a great squad. I liked Bernie Williams. I liked Derek Jeter. I liked, I'm not going to keep telling you who I liked, but they had a good squad, right? The fans turned me off. The fans were just so cocky. They get me so mad. And you know, they're just certain way. I never forget. I'm a Met fan. I went to a Yankee game. I'm there having fun. I'm in the, and you know, I don't know. I think I got free tickets somehow. I'm in the bleachers. Dudes is pouring beer on me, and I'm like, what the hell is this? This is how you savages. No, but it was a fun time. I had a good time. We were going back and forth. It was a cool experience. But yes, but listen, don't be coming at me for my dance moves, man. I got the Tom Willis. Nobody knows the Jeffersons, the Tom Willis, man. I got moves. Watch out. Anyway, yeah. So Sam, I wanted to get into this question. Let me put this back in the chat just in case, because some people don't see it and they ask for it later, and I don't want to worry about it now. Um, Walter Blackman said, and obviously it was already mentioned as well in the chat, I would like to see Tibbs go with the 10-man rotation. I want to see more of McBride. How do you feel about the Knicks going to a 10-man rotation? Now, keep in mind, we know who Tibbs is, so I got it. But let's not also forget that when the Knicks changed their season around, it was in part to Tibbs shortening the rotation, going to 8, maybe 9, and really fine tuning and condensing. However, now that we've seen McBride play a really good game the other day, and his defense was all over, all over the place, man. The 3 steals, the activeness, the block he had, he looked good out there. So, what's your thoughts, Sam?
So yeah, I'd be for it, but I think it's gonna deal with the actual game matchup. I don't think that he's gonna just be like, oh, McBride, here's 13, 14 minutes just like that. I think he's gonna have to look at the team that they're playing in the matchups, and if McBride could be useful. I would be for McBride playing, but I just don't see Tibbs breaking that 10-man. If he does, it'd be great, because he's shown us at least this season that he's willing to, as much as people say he doesn't make any changes, he's at least made some type of changes this season that we've seen so far. So I think it's a potential thing that could happen, but I think he'll go back to that 9-man. Also depends on how much Brunson plays tonight. So we'll see if he plays Brunson the whole game. If not, we might see some more McBride again.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so that's actually interesting that you said that. I don't know. Can Brunson deal with that? I would love, if Brunson does play in today's game, that they limit his minutes. You know what I mean? Don't keep him out there for 30 plus minutes. Maybe give him 20 or so, and give some of those minutes to McBride. Maybe that would be the way to do it. And it'll be, you can say that you're thinking about Brunson's health and trying to keep him healthy and not aggravate nothing. But you're also giving McBride some well earned minutes that he deserves at this point. Whether or not they can keep that going, I don't know. But yeah, I understand. I see it. I see why it makes sense.
Because I mean,
And
like we
plus,
were talking about, me and D were talking about it on his show. He was like, well, like really just dealing with the certain teams that we're playing. Like honestly, in my opinion, teams like when we play Houston, right? Brunson shouldn't play, Randall shouldn't play, because that game I feel like we can win without those guys, and even if so, it wouldn't really affect us. And then I'm looking at Minnesota now, who Anthony Edwards just went down. They don't know what his issue is with the ankle. If he doesn't
oh
play,
shoot,
and that's the
I didn't
game
know that.
after. Yeah, he just got hurt last night. So if Anthony Edwards
Oh,
is out, then I look at Brunson not playing as much that game, because you could throw McBride in there to guard Noel. I think they have Jordan Noel and then McLaughlin. He can guard those guys. So I think you put McBride in against the Timberwolves too, depending on, that's why I said
wow.
more so for me, I feel like it's matchups than if he's going to just bust out the rotation.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good point, man. I didn't know that. That's big for Minnesota. Hopefully, it's not. He comes back and it's not too long that he's out because he was really starting to come into his own with Cat being down so long. And I was just talking about this the other day on the NBA report. Like Cat has been out for over 40 games with that calf injury,
My
man.
funny thing,
Crazy.
one of my classmates is a Timberwolves fan. They just want him gone, dude. Like the T-Wolves fans just want him gone. Because there's like every game
Sheesh.
they're showing him in his like Louis Vuitton outfit or whatever he's got on the sideline, and he's never playing it. He hasn't played. Like you said, it's been over half the season. So he's been out, and then
Mm-mm.
now they're dealing with Anthony Edwards being out. So especially with how jumbled up that Western Conference is, they could be out of the playoffs just like that.
Mm. Wow, that's wild. Yeah, I don't, man. We'll see. I mean, listen, we at least we're not in that situation right now with the those big stars going down that you depend on with your team. I mean, look what's going on with the Bulls and Lonzo. Man, horrible.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Lonzo. It really is.
Um, so let's see here. Let me pull this up. Where is it? There it is. Does it let me highlight it? I guess I got to slide over. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, let me pull this up so we get a look at this because this is what we're dealing with today, folks. And like I said, sometimes you can't depend on everything you see because teams have can play differently and in a spell of games like the last 10 to 20 games, maybe a team's made a trade or whatever, the whole offensive structure could change, their whole defensive structure could change. In the case with the Knicks, maybe that's somewhat true. Um, but this is what is the proverbial tail of the tape for the year so far with these two teams and what they're averaging. Uh, you know, season averages per game. Denver Nuggets are averaging 116.9 points per game. Knicks are averaging 115.1. Rebounds, Knicks are at 47. Denver's at 43. Assists, Denver's at 29. That's a nice number. The Knicks are at 22. Steals, Denver's at 7.6. Knicks are at 6.1. Blocks, 4.4 versus 4. So that's kind of a wash. Turnovers, Denver's at 14. Knicks are at 12. Field goal percentage, wow. Denver's shooting 50% from the field as a team. The Knicks are shooting 46.5. 3-point percentage, Denver's shooting 38% as a team, and Knicks are at 34. And then free throw percentage, 75 for Denver, 76.5 for the Knicks. Let me see one more thing here. Points in the paint, 55 for Denver, 51.5 for the Knicks. Second chance points, 13 for Denver, 16.5 for the Knicks. And fast break points, 16.6 for Denver, 12.1 for the Knicks. So, you know, once again, this is like these stats are kind of like, you see, these teams are not that far from each other. But the efficiency for Denver looks better, a lot better. And that's going to be the key to today's game. Can the Knicks slow Denver's offense down? Most likely, they're not going to stop Jokic. Guys, look, the first time we played Denver, Jokic wasn't there. We were able to beat them, but they weren't the team that we're used to seeing, right? And even then, if they had Jokic, they weren't the team they are today because this team that we're going to face is really playing well. Because remember, Jokic basically carried that team a lot of last year without having Michael Porter Jr. healthy, without having Murray healthy. These guys are back now, and they're kind of, it was a whole feeling out process. If you guys watched Denver, and I watched some of their games because of the NBA report, Jokic was deferring a lot, trying to get Murray involved, trying to get Porter involved, and like get them and get Murray acclimated to running the show again, get them comfortable. At a certain point, they weren't doing that great. Jokic started to really take over again. Then it was, you'd watch Porter maybe contribute 10 or 11 points, a couple things here. Murray would be around 15 to 18 points, right? But they were still kind of finding how they fit with Jokic now that he's this whole big thing for Denver. Now I think they got it. Now I think they're working and gelling together. So this is going to be a tough matchup for these New York Knicks. I mean, they're number one in the West for a reason. So I'm wondering what you think, Sam, but I'm going to tell you guys, I expect Jokic to go crazy today. And it's not because of the matchup with the Knicks per se. I think Jokic is a very prideful guy. I think he is loves what he does out there, and I think he loves being acknowledged for his game. I saw something yesterday that said that currently in the MVP race, and I don't know what the metrics are for this, Joe Embiid just passed Jokic. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but I just know it's out there. It was on some site, um, like a real site, not like one of these fake sites. And so I don't know how closely Jokic pays attention to that, but I have noticed that these guys are going back and forth with regards to this MVP stuff. So I expect Jokic to go crazy today. He didn't play the Knicks the last time we beat them. I think he sees that. He's like, oh, I'm here this time. We're going to win. And you're playing at the Garden. I think Jokic wants to get busy today. What do you think, Sam?
So yeah, I think you said it perfectly, Ron. In regards to the Nuggets, we just need to let Jokic get his. He's gonna get a triple double. I mean, there's nothing we can do about that. He's gonna get a triple double, right? But I honestly think if we don't allow him to get the other people involved on the team outside of Jamal Murray, those people do not get hot. Because Jamal Murray can get hot on his own, but I think with the Jokic passing and facilitating the ball, he allows those other role players to get hot on that team, and that's what we can allow. I know last time we allowed Zeke Naji to have like 20 points. I really don't want to see that again. I mean, certain players like that should not go off on the Knicks, but this is going to be a big game for Mitch because, as we know, he struggles with guys who can stretch the floor at the 5 position. So it's going to be a big game for him as well. And I think they might put RJ on Murray. If they do that, then big game for RJ as well. He's looking to continue his hot streak. And I think with Brunson back, it should put some more stability in the offense if he does play. If he doesn't, then I think Quickly can still do his job as starting point guard for tonight. So we'll be interested to see. But with the MVP standings, I think it's more so going to the actual standing of the team, which is why it's going back and forth. Because I think they're within like a game between like Philly and Denver's record. So I think that's why it keeps going back and forth. Because if you look at their individual stats, it's hard to really determine who's the like clear-cut MVP because both of them are doing so well for their respective teams. So I mean, I think it's going to come down at the end of the day to the actual team record.
I think the only thing that Jokic probably has going for him, because Embiid has been playing incredible lately, well, all season, but lately he's really been trying to take it up a notch, is Jokic is still averaging a triple-double for the season. That's a lot. So, that's something.
And William
It ain't
Thompson, that's a
easy to
fair
do.
point. That's a fair point too, William. I honestly think it's possible for us to prevent the triple double if we do not allow him to get these other people involved. I mean, he's going to get a few assists, but I think that's a good point that you made. If we do kind of just limit him to only him scoring and not really facilitating as much, I think we'll be fine. Having Mitch in the paint is good too as well because he averages I think it's like 5 offensive rebounds a game. So Jokic lives on the glass on the offensive side of things. We know he's not that much of a defensive player. So yeah, I think if we do like kind of hone in on Jokic, that it would be an easier game for us because as we know, Denver is not a good defensive team. So I think we should be fine. Randall should really take advantage of this game and abuse the paint.
But is Denver a better defensive team now that they've got who did they get in the Reggie Jackson?
They're trying if you look at it overall, they're still not a good defensive team. Their defense has gotten better the last few games, but it's still the Nuggets. Like I think we'll be fine, especially with guys that we have on our team who love to attack the mid range and paint with Randall, Brunson, and RJ. I think we'll be okay. And that should open some things up for Mitch today, hopefully.
That makes sense. I wonder. So your thought is that we let Jokic get his and just stop all the other players as much as to the best we can. Okay.
The same. I took the same approach when we played the Lakers when it was just AD. AD is gonna get his,
Hmm.
but like their role players cannot go off. Like we can't allow somebody like Austin Reeves that game to kill us. We can't allow Zeke Naji again because I remember that game where he had like 5 threes last time we played them. I don't know if it was the last game or the game before, but I remember Zeke Naji having like 4 or 5 threes. And I'm like, yeah, this guy is a no name, and he's going off on the Knicks. Just like when we played the Grizzlies, remember on at the opener, and then there was some Aldama dude who dropped like 20 and 10. I'm like, who the heck is this guy? We always allow the guys who have like no clout in the NBA to drop us off.
Yeah, it's always even like that dude that we played when we played the Nets. Guy averaged like 3 points a game, and he got busy. He dropped 18 to 20 something. I don't know, 21 maybe. I don't know. What was
Yeah.
his last name? I forgot. But yeah, it always happens. And I agree with you because I was thinking, is that the best approach? But I think it is because Denver is an efficient scoring team from the field, and they're good from three, averaging 38%. You don't want to let Jokic. I mean, you don't want to try to stop Jokic and let these other guys beat you because I think they will.
They'll shoot
So
it, yeah. They'll shoot it. Unlike
yeah,
us, they will actually shoot the ball and make it a lot. Like us,
yeah.
it's like us. It's kind of flip flop if we're gonna hit or not. But with Denver, they have a good shooting team, so I believe if he's able to get these guys in the pocket wide open for them to catch and shoot, they'll knock it down. And yeah, they said in the chat, Francisco Sumner for the Nets is who we
Sumner.
let go off on.
That's him. That's him. Oh my goodness, that was crazy. Crazy. Um and Sherwin said the other thing that I was looking at, and I actually was just looking at the Denver roster, but what I looked at here didn't give me their heights, and I didn't want to waste more time. But that's what I was thinking, Sherwin, that Denver is a big team, and that could be an issue for us. Height wise, they could cause us some problems. Their guys can shoot over some of our matchups, as we saw with I was just complaining about it the other. Oh, Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard was shooting over everybody who was guarding him for the most part. Like he was just
Mhm.
going right to that mid-range spot and just shooting right over. Like no one could block him because they was shorter. So I do worry about that with Denver. Now, I don't know if Denver has the type of guys on the team that will knock it down at the level of efficiency that Kawhi was. Like I'm not worried about Aaron Gordon and some of these dudes, but they've got some weapons over there,
And
and even
you know the Knicks killer too, Ron. Bruce Brown. It seems like every game when he was with Brooklyn had a career game against the Knicks. I really hope that they don't allow him to do anything. I'm so sick of seeing that guy go off on the Knicks, man.
I
Bruce
forgot
Brown
they
every
got Bruce
single
Brown
time.
too.
And then Michael
Shoot,
Porter
I
Jr.
just
That's the
can't
one
believe
I'm worried about as far as like Michael Porter Jr. is not somebody that we really consider that could light us up, but he's one of those guys I feel like if Jokic gives him the ball wide open, he's knocking it down more than not. So I hope that he's not one of those guys that gets hot tonight or today.
Yeah, I mean, they've got some players over there that you gotta worry about, and if I have to think about what they could do to, make it like you said, Zeke Naji, it could be an issue. Jeff Green, whenever he wants to, for whatever reason, if you notice Jeff Green's career, when he plays the Knicks, he plays well. I don't know if he'll play well this game because, the roles are a little different, but for whatever reason, he has good games against the Knicks. Thomas Bryant is a serviceable player. Bruce Brown, you just mentioned it. Uh, Contavious Caldwell Pope, who I really like his game. He could be a problem. Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, Jokic. That's a lot of different guys to worry about. It could be interesting. I think this game is going to come down to the bench. But I will say Denver does have a couple things they could throw out there on the bench. I don't know if it's better than what the Knicks have, but it's going to be interesting. The bench is going to have to play, I think, a really important role in this game, and they may be the deciding factor because the starting fives are going to be going at it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna
I think
need
this is going to be
Mitch to
interesting.
stay out of foul trouble because Jokic is another one. Like Embiid, he gets the superstar treatment in the paint. So Mitch is gonna need to stay out of foul trouble tonight because we're definitely gonna need him for the boards.
So, and see, this is where I know limiting the rotation has worked well for Tibbs, but this is where I would like him to have a 10-man, maybe even 11-man rotation for this game, because this is where I would use, a couple other players to spell some guys some minutes, but also when you're playing with one of the elite centers in the league, I would like to see Sims guard him. Maybe Jokic will kill him, but maybe he can pick up some fouls that Mitch won't get, or that Hartenstein doesn't have to get. You know what I mean? Just put a bigger body on him, give him different looks or whatever it may be.
You basically
Um,
you want to be a mercenary, on. It's okay.
I
I
do, I
got
do, because right now he's a bench warmer, so I'd rather you get out there at least take one for the team.
Yeah, that's fair. I think he would. It would be nice for him to play Sims. I just can't remember the last time he's played. Honestly, like it's been so long to where I've even seen Sims checking the game. I know he's been doing it up in G League. He's been playing pretty well, at least staying active. But as far as NBA minutes, I really can't remember the last game that Sims has actually played in. And Hardenstein has been doing so well as far as like recent games. I don't think he'll get in unless something happens to where one of those guys get in foul trouble, Mintz or Hardenstein. Because I haven't seen that like two big man lineup. Where we used to do Sims and Hardenstein, or Sims and Randall. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a good point. And I don't think we're gonna see it. I don't think Tibbs likes Sims. I think at first he saw some potential in him with that athletic ability, but I think Sims is just maybe a lot slower to get what Tibbs wants him to do out there. And I just don't think he trusts him. So that's unfortunate, but that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I don't know, man. The way I look at it, it don't look good.
Yeah, I think as much as we'd like to see, the 10 men, I wouldn't be too hopeful for it. I think we can see 9 men for right now. But like I said, if for something happens where we're just getting torched by Murray, or somebody's getting torched down low, I could see him bringing in a guy like McBride or Sims.
Yeah, and William Thompson was saying, like, aren't they on a 4-game losing streak? And listen, none of that matters when it comes to playing at the Garden. Teams get right at the Garden. It's
Yeah, they
Madison
love it,
Square
man.
Garden. They get up for that.
They love it.
So yeah, you gotta just treat them like they're a dangerous team. But they broke their 4-game losing streak, so they won one since then. They won their last game. And they still number one. They've already
Yeah, it's still
clinched their
Denver
spot.
at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
can never take a team
Uh,
like that lightly, who is number one for how many seasons they've done it now. Top 2 in the West, a couple of seasons now.
yeah, I like what CC said. He said prevent and salute to you, my brother. Appreciate you. He said prevent those backdoor cuts. That's where we get killed at. We do. Walter Blackman says we must have constant ball movement. Yeah, well, I hope for it in the second unit. I don't think we'll see a lot of it if Brunson's back. You know how the Knicks play, some ISO flow with Brunson and RJ and Randall. Now RJ might be the saving grace because in some games he likes to try to move the ball lately. I've been complaining about him moving the ball and trusting his teammates all year. I've seen a little bit more of it lately. I hope he continues to do that. I think against a team like Denver, if you want to beat some of these good teams, you got to move the ball. You got to get guys comfortable so that when they try to come at you with a certain look, you're able to capitalize. If they don't move the ball, we're going to be in trouble. Let's see. Salute to Edward Walker in the building. Salute. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. He said, what about stopping Murray? Murray, you don't know what you're going to get from Murray. Like, he can give you that 15, like I said, 15 to 18 points a night, but you don't know if you're going to get that Murray or if you're going to get the Murray who's going to go off for 30. It's very spotty right now with him. I would
And honestly,
say,
with
no, I was going to
Murray,
say
I
just
feel
try to keep
okay.
him low. Keep him low. Don't go too crazy with Murray, man. Don't be going back. And Murray likes to talk. He uses that
Mhm.
to fire up his game. What were you going to say, Sam?
I think, and somebody said it. I forgot who said it in the chat, but like I think we'll be all right with Murray because we have Hart now. If we didn't have Josh Hart, I'd honestly be worried because it would be
Mm.
all game that I'd have to be worried about our best bet with RJ Barrett, or I honestly think they'll put Grimes on him, But Grimes, they get ticky-tack calls on Grimes a lot. So I'm hoping that when Grimes does get his rest, that they throw Josh Hart on him, and I think he'll be all right. So I think we'll be able to hold him in check unless he's just making shots that it's just nothing we can do. It's just good defense. But I think with Grimes and Josh Hart, we should be able to guard Murray tonight.
Knicks will be 2026 NBA champs. This is in the building. Salute to you, my brother. Appreciate you. He said, attack the paint. We have the weapons to beat Denver, even with Jokic going off. Yeah, I agree. It's just something that they, I think you honestly, well, they're a different team. So you can't, I want to say you play Denver like if they're Philly, but Denver is a better shooting team. But I'm just in the same approach. Like, Embiid was going to get his. So try to contain him a little bit, but don't just let him walk to the basket. But yeah, stop everybody else. It's the same kind of thing. And it worked against Philly. You can do that against Denver as well. Shout out to Julian Blum.
Salute, Julian.
Yeah. Appreciate you, bro. And let me see. Oh, look at this is a new name. I'm gonna say, is that Das Vamen or Das Vamen? I don't know. I mean, if you can break that down in vernacular, how you pronounce it.
Yeah, I don't want to butcher it. Normally, I'm good with the names, but I don't want to butcher it. You got it.
Yeah, we appreciate you for being here, though. Thank you. And hopefully you like the content and keep coming back. He said we have the best bench in the league, and I agree with that. I do. I think we do. When they want to play, the Knicks bench is great, man. And now the addition of Josh Hart takes them to another level. Yeah, so shout out to Delano Steele Jr. in the building. Salute to you, my brother. Appreciate you. Okay. Yes, Randall has to pass quicker and move. Yeah, he has to. We'll see. That's another thing with Randall. Like, the only thing I'm really worried about in this game is if the Knicks come out flat. They haven't played a game since Tuesday. And normally this Knicks team, when they get some rest, that next game they come out the gate doesn't look that great. And they can't really afford that against Denver. Like, this is a game at the Garden, 1:00 game. Knicks got to come out, and it's a 1:00 game too. That's another thing.
That's what me and D were talking about, Ron, on his show. It was like, the Knicks don't do well in the matinee. Hopefully, today's a different story. But usually the Knicks kind of really come out slow in these games, and it doesn't at least start well usually. But hopefully they flip the script today. Realizing that every game is crucial from here on out, as far as just the standings and where we want to be at. So, like, especially when you're playing a team like Denver, I feel like you got to come out. You can't just lay down to a team like Denver.
Interesting. Sherwin says, Ron, please stop it with the 10-man rotation. I will like him to go to a 8-man rotation. Here's my question, Sherwin. If he goes to an 8-man rotation, would you like to not ever have Brunson again? Would you like him to get hurt and then you never see him in the playoffs and not see him until next season? Because if he goes 8-man rotation with these guys, a man who's dealing with an injury could easily get hurt again in an 8-man rotation. Going up against these teams that they're not even going 8-man rotations. They might be going 9, some 10, but a lot of them are 8 or 9, right? That one extra player could make a big difference for your team. Like, 8 is tough. The other thing is, if you go 8-man rotation, say the Knicks went 8-man rotation against Portland on Tuesday. Does that mean Deuce McBride doesn't play? And if Deuce McBride doesn't play, do the Knicks win that game against Portland? I mean, say what you will of how they played. Deuce was big. Deuce hit some big threes, in that game to help us get it going and get off the schneid and get that lead going and then extend the lead. He played some really good defense. Do we win that game without Deuce? I don't know, man.
My question would be, like, if we're doing 8, who's sitting with you doing the 8-man rotation? Because with 9, we're already, hand strapping us to the same guys. But then if you're doing 8, one of those guys has to sit. So who would be the guy that you would sit for that 8-man
Yeah, I mean,
rotation?
if we were doing 8-man rotation, just in that Portland game, for example, quickly starting, RJ starting, Grimes is starting, Randall's starting, and Mitch is starting. That's 5 right there. Hartenstein is playing. That's 6. Obi's playing because he would play over Deuce. So that's 7. And then Josh Hart. That's 8 right there. Like,
Yeah.
that ain't gonna get it done.
I don't know, man. Somebody's not playing, so be interesting to me to see how that goes.
Now I know in Sherwin's
Oh yeah,
8-man Sherwin's
DSJ
8-man
just said it.
rotation,
Yeah,
he would take
DSJ
Obi
just
out,
said
right? So I guess he would
Yeah.
say, "I'll put Deuce in
go.
there instead of Obi." Okay, but maybe I don't know.
It's been a while, so I forgot about that Sherwin. That would probably be your go-to.
Yeah. I respect him. I know he would say something like that, so I get it. All right. We'll see, man. I don't know, man. I just think that they need to. Tibbs has to understand. Okay, look, this is what I think works best for the team, but I know I've been here before. I've watched guys break down for me. And when they start to get to this point, I got to make an adjustment. I mean, at what point does Tibbs learn and say, "Okay, I get it. I got it, guys. I know I'm pushing you guys. You guys are warriors. You'll fight for me, but I gotta save you from yourself because it's better for the team." That's why I don't know, man. I really wish Brunson didn't play for this game, but if he looks good, it is what it is.
I think this is like, and we talked about it too. I think this is another thing Dia brought up. It was like really coming down to it. The medical staff is who's telling Tibbs if they're green light or not. So like, either Brunson's like putting on a Houdini act and he's really finessing the medical staff and they can't tell that he's still hurt, or he's actually like just good. So, because Tibbs, if he sees available, yeah, you're out there 40 minutes. So like, the medical staff doesn't do otherwise. He's going to be out there. So I'd expect Brunson to play today, regardless of what they're saying. If he's already practiced full practice, no complaints. I think like if he goes through warmups as they said, we'll see Brunson tonight. I don't know like what the minutes how that's going to look, but from our previous history, we can only assume that he will be playing hefty minutes tonight.
Yeah, there's no real way around it, man. Tibbs is gonna Tibbs. He's gonna Tibbs.
Yeah.
I hope that Brunson can stay healthy and the rest of these guys can stay healthy. Because remember, this team is making noise, man. They're doing some stuff that people have to respect. And you're learning on the spot too. These young guys are getting better before our eyes. Deuce feeling more comfortable doing things. Grimes hopefully starting to learn. Now, Grimes has been going through a little bit of I don't want to say a tough spell, but it's been a little difficult for him. And there's been some people that have been down on his game lately. Some of his decision making, they're questioning, and his defense against certain guys. Guys are going to get cooked in the NBA. That's just what it is. These NBA players are the best in the world. But I think they're kind of starting to focus in on Grimes a little bit more. It's not that easy, guys. It's not that easy. And it also depends on who you're talking about. I mean, if Grimes, and I'm not saying Grimes was, but like if Grimes is playing Kawhi Leonard, it's Kawhi Leonard. He's got height over him. He's an incredible clutch NBA player who gets big baskets over everybody. So it's tough. It depends on the matchup. So I don't know, man. I just think we got to be patient with some of these young guys and just hope that they continue to do what they've been doing. Shout out
because
to
I still think oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say this real quick. Shout out to Paris Duggar. Thank you for the generous super chat. Appreciate you, my brother. He says, "Salute Ron, salute Sam, and keep on that career path." Yes, go ahead, Sam.
Appreciate that. I was just gonna say, appreciate that, Parrish. I was just gonna say, I think that McBride is still situational. Somebody else just said, I thought I saw too. Yeah, I think McBride is still situational. So I don't see him opening it up all the way. like I said, it'll go be a game by game basis or just situational. Like if they need a defensive stop, I could see them throwing in McBride if somebody's getting cooked. But besides that, I think we'll still see the 9-man throughout the season. But I think Deuce, if he does continue to show up every time he's being called on, you will see Tibbs look towards him in the playoffs. I think that'll be a thing that you will see.
Yeah, yeah, and I think. First off, let me say salute to Ernesto Duverge. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Maybe that's the case, but I doubt it. I think he's going to play. For the love of the game, Hall Will in the building. Salute. Shout out to my man Hall Will and Worldwide L for the love of the game. If you guys haven't checked it out, what are you waiting for? It's number 4, OUR, love of the game. Check them out. Thank you guys for being here and always repping and saluting the show. A la Wise said, Ron, Nuggets been getting kicked lately. 9-man rotation works. If it ain't broke, why you want to play with it? So this is the other thing. When it comes to, like, I know there's narratives that get pushed, and the 10-man rotation conversation is one of them that's hot right now. But just because you're talking about going to a possible 10-man rotation doesn't mean you have to change what you're doing as a team. Like, you could play a 10-man rotation and give Deuce 6 minutes, but he's in the rotation. It's not like you're going to put him in. He has to get 30 minutes. You don't have to go crazy with it. The point is, today is a day that if you were going to go with a 10-man rotation, today is the day to do it. To spell Jalen Brunson. I don't care how good he looked, but maybe you give him a little bit of a rest. You know what I mean? Deuce came off a really good game in Portland. As a coach, as a person who's trying to develop players, wouldn't you want to try to give this kid, and I'm saying kid because he's a kid, he's a young guy, young man. Wouldn't you want to give him another shot to go out there and build off of that momentum that he just created from that Tuesday game? Like, his shot was going well, his defense was important and effective. Don't you value that? It's not like he went out there and just got hot. Oh, the guy came into the game, he played horrible defense, but he hit 8 threes. No, this guy was playing good basketball on both sides of the ball. So that's a value player. I just think that you don't just, even though I do agree McBride is situational, I don't think you sit him in this whole. I think he should play a couple minutes in this game at some point. That's all I'm saying.
And Ron, the reason why I say that too is because you've only seen it happen before, like recently. It's happened before with Obi. I'm not saying that Obi's like doing this now, but like Obi had a couple of games where he'd pop off, and then the next game he's back to 10 minutes. People complained about it multiple times in the past about Obi not getting consistent minutes. I think he's situational. Deuce is situational, but more so Deuce because like his shot just came around for one game. He hasn't been shooting the ball well at all previously. Like Obi is the least relied upon to stand in the corner. That's pretty much his designated role when he gets in the game, besides being on fast break. So I think if Deuce's shot comes around more consistently, then you could probably argue for expanded in minutes for him.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I agree. Like, Deuce is situational. I agree that that's his label. I just don't think, I think coming off of that last game, give Deuce a shot to go out there and play a couple more minutes today. I think he earned that from his play in that last game. I think it helped spell Brunson a little bit. And the other thing is, listen, the energy that Deuce bring in that game is infectious. It spills off into other guys. What other Nick have you seen? Don't worry, I'll wait. What other Nick have you seen? I don't know how many years you can go back in the past few years that chased down a player that was going for an open free layup and blocked the shot. We don't see that level of hustle on this Nick team a lot. Josh Hart is the type of guy that I think could do something like that, but I haven't seen him do that in particular. I saw Deuce do it though. So that's the type of stuff, like, I don't know. I got to get that guy out there. I got to give him some of that. And even like to your point with Obi's had moments too where he's that, but you know what? I think for me, it's the Tibbs thing. Obi just doesn't play that defense in that way. And Deuce does. He has his moments where he can be special out there. So that's it. That's it. But I agree, guys. The shorter rotation maybe works better, but it's not about, I don't think it's necessarily about the rotation. It's the players that Tibbs is deciding not to play. I don't believe in Sims right now. He makes a lot of mistakes. He gets in foul trouble. maybe he sees that when Sims is out there, certain things happen that affect the pace of the game or affect what they're trying to do. They go down a lot. I don't know what it is, but he has his own things that he's looking at. So okay, Sims is out. Fournier, even though Fournier shot, well in the past and is a good 3-point shooter, his defense has been a liability. He says, "Listen, I need to go in a different direction." Fine. That makes sense. McBride, mm-mm. McBride is just about time. You got too many guys at the point guard spot, quickly stepped up. Jalen commands that role. I get it. There's not a lot of minutes to go around. But if you can fit him in there, he deserves to play. That's
I'm
that's
not
it.
sure. I'm not sure if that comment was directed at me or not. But like, I'm not saying that Obi's a great 3-point shooter. I'm just saying when he gets checked into the game, that's what he's expected to do: is shoot in the corner or leak out on fast breaks. I don't think we've just rarely seen glimpses of Obi like actually put the ball down on the court and drive towards the hoop. So that's just what I was referencing. I'm not sure if you were referencing that to me or not.
Mm. Let's see here. D Coolest 718 in the building. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you. Good to see you. And thank you for your comment, otherwise. I appreciate you, my brother. Where was it? Parrish Douglas says Fournier is better on defense than RJ, though. No cap.
I won't take it that far. I won't take it that far, but
I used to go back and forth with Andy about this. If you look at just the numbers and the stats,
I know
Fournier has
but
had
I don't want to. I don't want to
similar
take it that
numbers,
far.
right? But you got to look at
I'm
who
not gonna.
Fournier is guarding and who RJ is guarding. Like RJ is not guarding slouches. RJ is guarding some of the better players in the league when he's going. So I don't know if it's necessarily fair, but I will say I give Fournier a lot more credit than he doesn't look as bad as he did when he was thrown out there last year early in the season with Kemba. He looked really bad. I think he tries. I think sometimes he gets sneaky steals. I think sometimes he hustles back and gets in front of his guy to help alter shots. He's not the greatest defender, but he tries.
So
So
it's just with
it's
Fournier. With
yeah.
Fournier, it's just like him and RJ like literally just have no lateral movement. That's what's so bad about it. RJ can kind of accompany for it a little bit better because he's just physically stronger than Fournier. But Fournier can't move his feet, and he's also not the strongest guy. So it's just very hard for him to stay in front of anybody. And that's not
Mm-hmm.
an excuse. That's just like his physical limitation.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's the truth. It is what it is. Honestly, the more and more I look at it, it's a shame, but RJ might be better suited on the bench. He might be better suited as the starting shooting guard off the bench. I just think that I've always felt like he plays better at the shooting guard position. However, this year has kind of proved that not proved it, but it's kind of made that thought not so correct because he's been getting cooked on defense at all positions wherever he plays. But I think off the bench, not going up against necessarily the top player on the opposing team at that position and going up against bench players. I hate saying it because it sounds bad. You're paying this guy $100 million and you're basically telling me, he deserves to be on the bench. I just feel like until he makes a change in the off season, whether it be cutting weight or doing whatever he can to help improve his foot speed and as what Sam said, his lateral quickness. I think that would make more sense going forward. Now it's not going to happen now, but going forward, they might have to look at some stuff. I don't know if they can do it. It might break this kid's will and his spirit. He's been here 4 years. He's used to being a starter. So I don't think they can do it. And I don't think Tibbs would go for it. But I think that makes a lot more sense. And I think you would see RJ be like the king of the second unit. Like RJ might be the sixth man of the year. You put him in that role and he accepts it and just tries to flourish at that. I don't think he would, and I don't think the Knicks will. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, I think they would
Honestly.
they'd probably try to explore it, but they might do it this way, which I've kind of seen them hint at by recent games, is where RJ's still starting, but depending on the game, he's playing a bulk of his minutes with the bench unit, which we've all seen like recently. And then you'll see some games he's not closing. It's more so Josh Hart. So like I could see them leaning more towards that, where RJ Barrett's still starting, but he could be playing the majority of his minutes with the bench squad. Like you said, it would kind of be the leader of that group with quickly starting for right now, unless Brunson's back. But like I think RJ could be playing the bulk of his minutes with the bench, and then they just trust Hart down the stretch because he's a proven veteran, and I think he's a better IQ player, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's the workaround. That's what the Knicks have basically been doing. That's how they've kind of been using him more with the bench mob and trying to still keep him as that starter so it doesn't affect him. Uh, you know, uh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to overthink it. I think this Knick team is doing much more than some people or some people around the league might have thought that they could do. And I think that they are starting to respect them for what they have out there. And it's not fool's gold, guys. We saw it 2 years ago. Tibbs was the coach. He got that team to the 4th seed. I know it was a bubble year, and then we had a horrible year not horrible. We had a bad year last year. And then but we're doing it again this year, with Tibbs type players on the team and with the addition of Jalen Brunson. Like, they're pushing the right buttons. We've got on them all year about, are they doing what we need them to do to is the front office doing the right thing? Is Tibbs doing the right thing? Are the players the right players? Are they playing the way they need to play? I think for the most part they've been doing it. I think the front office has been better than we expected. We've been hard on them, but that's because this process has taken a long time, and some of the fruit of all of this is also taken a while to develop. It's taken a while for us to see it, but I think Tibbs has really helped this process along. I want to give him credit by switching to the shorter rotation and then saying, I'm going to go at it the way I want to go at it. And if you're going to fire me, you fire me, but I'm going to do what I got to do to turn it around. And it's worked. And then these players have bought in and they've really played much better. The addition of Josh Hart has been incredible. But let's not forget, the Knicks went on that 8-game winning streak earlier in the year without Josh Hart. So the players have bought in as well. They've made changes. Jalen Brunson's has been big, and Julius Randle's game has been really good. But what I will say is, you guys see, without Jalen Brunson here, you see why he's needed. It shows you a glimpse of what we were dealing with last year. Julius and RJ with the ball down the stretch, them double teaming, even sometimes trying to show a triple at Julius and him being slow to make the adjustment or the change, and us getting into really uncomfortable situations, looking like, what are we doing in the last minutes of games? So yeah, that's why it's all important. It's why you can't forget any of this stuff. Sometimes you got to see it again so you can see, oh, that's why we need Jalen Brunson.
Yeah,
It's
and we
been
just
crazy,
got
Sam.
we just got the update too. I looked at it. Well, I got the notification from Knicks PR. So Brunson is playing today, so expect him to be starting. Sure, Tibbs was very excited to hear that
Oh,
news.
I'm
So
sure he is.
we'll be watching Brunson play today, which I think everybody's anxious to see, because every time Brunson plays, I just feel like it's a better aura that's out on the court with this team.
Oh shoot, look at that. I missed out on 2 Knick tickets. It is what I'm not going anyway. I can't. Going to
Yeah,
that Knick game last
I've
time changed my life.
I've unfortunately I haven't been able to go because when I moved here they already well when I did move here I didn't know when they played, and they played their games earlier in the season against Milwaukee, so I missed both of the games, or whenever they did play here in Milwaukee. So unless we see the Bucks somehow in the series, I won't be seeing the Knicks live this year.
I hear you. I hear you. Salute to my guy Shot Powers in the building. Salute. I figure we'll go about another 12 minutes, get to that 12:30. Well, past that, like 12:40 mark or so, and then get ready for the game. Our pregame stuff in, see what they got going on. Let me see. Called Mega's in the building. Salute. What's good, my guy? Appreciate you. Um, and I think I said what's up to Julian Blum already. I hope I did. Salute to you, my brother.
Yeah, you
Hopefully
did.
you're
You
doing all
did.
right. Okay, cool. Yeah. So here's the thing. I don't want to make a big deal about it, but since I talked about in the past, some other news came out. And so I want to, just briefly touch on it, Sam, see what your thoughts are about it. Mitchell Robinson. Okay, we know he released his Snapchat. He was upset about not being a little bit more involved in the offensive side of things with the Knicks. Obviously, he felt like he was just out there getting cardio. But my whole thing is, and I respect Mitch for feeling that way. He just wants to be a bigger part of the team and he wants to show what he can do. He works on this stuff in the off season. I understand. But we talked about it in depth on the NBA report. Sim and John also weighed in. And all about showing the confidence, being comfortable out there, calling for the ball, showing the ability to knock down a shot, a hook shot, a little jumper, whatever it is, but being able to take it. Even Sim brought up, even Nerlens Noel when he was with the Knicks, who's not the greatest offensive player, took some jumpers here and there. Like he showed, and he was willing to do it. Mitch hasn't showed a lot of willingness to do that when he has the ball. Either he gives it up, defers, and he just doesn't look like. So to say this and make a big deal about it, you have to actually show it on the court. You got to show it in practice. You got to make the coaching staff and the rest of your teammates know that you're serious about it, so they can believe in you, go to bat for you as well. And we don't know if we were in agreement that we don't know if he's done that. How do you feel about what he said? And I will say he did apologize. He said he's got a lot going on. He's got a new baby on the way. He said he's also got some family things that he's dealing with. And congratulations to him. I didn't even know he had a new baby on the way, so good for him. But what do you think about what he said, Sam? And if it's something that the Nick organization and Tibbs needs to look at closely.
Yeah, so I really wouldn't put too much stock into it. Like you said, I think he was just going through a lot, and especially with, I can't say new generation because I'm a part of it. With my generation, this is kind of how some people like handle things. They go straight to their phone. So that's probably was his way of just venting out his stress. So I wouldn't say necessarily that's his true intentions. That's just probably what he thought in the moment to like let his anger out. Me personally, as I said like earlier, in some other shows, like Mitch needs to work on his own game, and then like when he's given the green light to do these things, because let's keep in mind this too, like Tibbs gave Nerlens Noel and Taj Gibson the green light to shoot. I have never heard him say that he's going to give Mitchell Robinson. Nobody's ever reported it. It's never been said that, yeah, we're going to give Mitchell Robinson touches to where he's like a focal point of the offense. Mitch's job on offense is to catch lobs, set screens effectively, which he still needs to work on, and then knock down his free throws when he's getting fouled. So me personally, I think that Mitch should just work on those things, and then eventually, hopefully, they can include him a little bit more into the offense because he's still struggling from the free throw line, guys. Like he's 50% barely. Like we've all seen his free throw; it doesn't look good. So I mean, those are things he needs to work on. Setting screens is still it's gotten better, but it's still an issue for him in some ways. And I think when he also still catches the ball, he fumbles it half the time as well too. So just little things like that, I feel like Mitch could work on in his own time. That way, if he does get in the game, we can see some flashes. Because I think we've only seen like once or twice where Mitch, I think one game against Charlotte, where he like caught the ball at the 3-point line and just drove past the guy and dunked it. And we're like, wow, we've never seen that from Mitch. So like things like that, like if he can improve on his handle, him just catching the ball around the rim, setting picks, shooting free throws, I think eventually guys will want to trust him, and if they see him at the mid range, give him the ball. So yeah, JJ just said it. His hands aren't that good, but yeah, little things like that I think Mitch should improve on.
Yeah, I was commenting on that the other day, and I even put him on the SKF weekly show of how he bobbled the ball and then dropped it, and like, and yeah, he's definitely got the Nerlens Noel jinx. I don't know what happened. He inherited that. He was like baby Nerlens before. He was having some issues holding the ball, but it wasn't as bad. Like it's gotten a little worse. So I just think that he I'm not saying he gets nervous, but I think on the offensive side, it's different than defense. Like, he knows what he needs to do and he can affect the game. On the offensive side, he just doesn't look comfortable still. And I mentioned too that sometimes the Knicks are not used to him wanting to be an offensive threat or showing that. So when they give him the ball, it's kind of more of it's a necessary thing, like the double came or whatever, and they're giving it to Mitch. He doesn't get the ball in a lot of favorable positions, so it's not fair to him either. but I think he needs to do a little bit more, work on a little hook shot, um, do things that make more sense. And someone said this a while ago. I think it was in the off season last year. I don't know who it was. Um, I can't remember now. But the point was, they were like, "Do you really want Mitch to have a better offensive game? Do you want him learning how to do hook shots and stuff in the paint?" And I was like, at the time, I was like, well, why wouldn't you? I mean, that's another dynamic weapon that the Knicks can have. But the point was, if he does that, he might be in a situation to have the ball in his hands more. So not only could he possibly get fouled, other teams can, choose to hack a Mitch, right? And then what happens when Mitch goes to the line? Those missed free throws add up and affects the overall balance
Yeah.
of the game. So I was like, wow, that's true. Oh, that's a good point.
But I mean, I can
That
see
is a
what they're
good point.
saying because, like, if you think about it, they're really not running any plays for Mitch. Like, his one job out there is to set the pick. And then, like you said, Ron, if it's a last ditch effort, just throw a lob up to him because he'll catch it over who's there.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. Like, and how often do they run the pick and roll with Mitch?
It just depends because you see, most of the time it's Randall, so he gets the matchup. So it'll be Randall and Brunson, so Randall can get the matchup or Brunson get the matchup, and then we see ISO. So like because you can make the same claim for Grimes. Grimes doesn't get that many shots either. Like that's
And
really why he's you know Grimes doesn't get that
yeah,
many touches either.
I don't notice the Knicks doing a lot. I've said this before. I said this multiple times. They need to learn how to do back cuts and stuff, screens for RJ and for Randall when they're closer to the paint area. Baseline screens, baseline cuts, and stuff like that. Free these guys to get easy opportunities. But would it be so crazy to say, I don't know, maybe Mitch is on the left hand side, under the rim, under the basket, and then somebody like it'd have to be a decent sized person that's on the court, maybe RJ or Randall, comes around and sets a screen. But we're talking about like a baseline screen, and so Mitch goes behind
Yeah,
after the
off ball
screen
screen.
and
Yeah,
runs to yeah, and does a backdoor screen to go to the other side of the basket. While that's happening, right? Whoever has the ball is passing to the middle of the court. So it's good line of sight. The middle of the court, but like somewhere in the close, top of the paint area. While the screen is happening, Mitch is going around to the other side. Then the person in the middle of the court makes the quick pass to Mitch as he curls around. Mitch gets a close shot right at the hoop, or maybe even a dunk, depending on what it is. And the person might even be able to throw an alley oop to Mitch, depending on how it plays out. Like, I just don't see the creative things with that stuff with the Knicks. Like, that would be interesting to get him open that way. I don't know. I've always thought about that, and I don't see them doing it. But it is what it is, man. I don't want to, belabor the point too much. The Knicks are playing good basketball. Whether or not Mitch is happy or not, he
because
should be. I mean,
I agree with DSJ, and he said a good point where he just really needs to be a low post threat. Like I feel like if he gets a drop step or something into his game to where teams have to respect him. It's just like with Randall now, not to that extent, obviously, but every time Randall gets the ball in the low post, they automatically double or they have to at least shade for help. Like with Mitch, if he develops some type of drop step or something like that, I feel like it would really help him. Or even like not saying he needs the iHeart floater, but that would definitely help him a little bit to where he could just have that nice touch around the rim. I think that could help his game some.
yeah, yeah. Um, my whole thing is like, this is where I'm starting to get a little annoyed and mad at Mitch. Every year, Mitch is not happy about something. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. You got your money. You decided to stay. No one forced you to stay. You chose to stay. The Knicks are playing well. And I get it. Maybe you want to be a bigger part of the offense, right? But here's my thing. What was Mitch's goals? What did Mitch say he wanted? Mitch said, I want to be the best defensive player in the league. Now, that's a tough task, right? Mitch also said, I want to be first team all defense. Another tough task. First off, is Mitch the best defensive player in the league? Nope. Is he first team all defense? I don't think he is. Is he second team? I don't even know if he's that. Like Mitch has to, if that's his goal and that's what he's known for, you need to focus on that. That helps the team. That is what you know. What that your time might come later if it presents itself, but focus on what you can be really good at and lock that in. Like I think his mind is a little too focused on other stuff. The Nick team is winning. We're playing good, and I also think that maybe Mitch is not that. Not I'm not saying. You know what? I'm not even going to say it because people run with stuff. Forget it. Let's just say other players are playing well on the Knicks at that position. So, it is what it is. So
Yeah, I
let's leave
think
it alone.
and Dia had hinted it on his show. I really hope this wasn't what happened, but like we don't know. The Knicks could have been like, yeah, Mitch, we're gonna get you more involved, and that's why he signed the deal. I really hope that wasn't a conversation that was had, because if that was the case, you would understand why Mitch is a little bit frustrated, because we looked at it, like Mitch is like his usage rate is terrible. Like it's been among the lowest in the league since he's been in the league. It hasn't gotten any better. So I can see why he's a little bit frustrated, because it's like he's giving 100% most of the time on defense, and then there's like not a single play ran for him, unless you said wrong. Like unless it's a last ditch effort to give him a lob. Most of Mitch's points come off of him getting the rebound and going back up. That's how Mitch scores the ball, or he gets hacked and gets a couple of free throws. He doesn't actually get any plays ran for him.
Or sometimes, which I think they've kind of gone away from it. I haven't seen a lot of it. The Knicks have this inbound play, two variations of it, where they do like these curl things and do an inbound lob to Mitch off of one pass, which is a good play. It looks pretty good when they do it. That's usually the only other times I see anything run for him in that way. So yeah, that's a good point. And yeah, to D's point, he is always bringing up the fact of the usage. Like his usage is poor compared to other centers around the league. It's horrible. Yeah, I don't know, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did tell Mitch something like that to get him. Because remember, we thought we were losing Mitch, and the fact that he decided to stay and take the money, I was like, okay. Uh, yeah, that's
I hope
Jimmy
they.
Henry
I
makes
hope
a
they
good
did,
point.
though.
Yeah, Jimmy, but the thing is, it's tough to teach touch. You know, touch is tough. Like and Oakley had gathered, he got a nice little touch on his jump shot as he progressed throughout the years. Mitch shoots a line drive, and it's a strong line drive shot. So there's no arc on his shot. I don't know. I don't know. That's tough.
And that's why
That's
that's
tough.
why I'm saying, like, if he develops a low post game, we will never have to see a shot. Just work on your footwork, Mitch, and work on you being close around the rim finishing. And I think another issue that he has, and we talked about this too, was like he always puts the ball down on the ground when he catches it, which is why half the time he's getting hacked. If he just holds the ball up, most of the time he's not gonna get the ball swiped away from him, because he's the tallest guy on the court. And he has great
Mhm.
leaping ability. So as soon as he puts that ball down, teams know to reach or foul Mitch every time.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll before we get out of here, I'll ask you, like I've been asking everybody else in recent times, Sam. Knicks are 41-10 with 11 games left. How many more victories you think the Knicks can run off before this regular season is all said and done?
So it's a tough question to answer, because me personally, I take it game by game. So I don't want to like say what I think is going to really happen, but I would say that they have some tough games coming up, like the Heat twice, who always play us hard. For whatever reason, we're not able to beat the Magic like handedly. It's always either a tight contest or we lose because we can't beat their zone. So I don't know, man. I think I see the Knicks at least uh, finishing at 500 with the remaining schedule. If you're gonna ask that, as far as like what do I think they'll do? I think the Knicks can at least win. What do we have? Like 11 games left. I'd give them at least 6 games that I see the Knicks winning for sure. But
Okay.
I think that number could easily increase depending how the team's playing. Because like we said, we just went on a 9-game winning streak not too long ago. It's very possible
Yeah.
the Knicks could win out, but like I don't know. I'm not sure.
I hear you. I hear
I don't
you.
I don't want to put too much stock into it and then holding myself to a standard. So I just take it game by game, see how the situation's looking. Who's playing, who's high, who's not at that time. So like today, if you were to ask me if I think we're beating the Nuggets, I'd say yes now because Brunson's playing. But beforehand, probably it would be on the fence.
Yeah. And even that it's not a gimme, man, because don't forget, I mean, Brunson may be playing, we know, but Brunson hasn't played in a little bit either. So he's been off. Will his shot be flat today? Will he have it going? Because if we don't get the good version of Brunson, it's almost like not having Brunson. Because if he's off, then that's not going to really benefit the Knicks that much. They're going to have to find answers elsewhere and really step up. So we'll see. This
And
is
I
going to be a
almost I
very
almost don't want
interesting
to.
one.
I almost don't want to say the Rockets is a gimme either because they just beat the Celtics. So I can't really say that's just a hand me down game. Like
Yeah,
nothing's gonna happen
nah,
there
I don't
either.
know. The Rockets are funky, bro. The Rockets, like someone said, "Oh, okay, you guys beat the Celtics to show that you could do." Don't stop that. Cut it out, man. You see, you we too close to Wimbayama Rama. Calm down.
Oh gosh. But I'll leave you with this,
No,
Ron.
but
I thought I should say this since we finished the Knicks talk. It was crazy enough that like in middle school, so we had this very stacked offensive line, right? Like everybody was 6'1", 280 in like seventh or eighth grade. And I was friends with all of them. So funny story is my mom actually made me stop playing football because she thought I was gonna get crushed by these guys. And I'm like, Mom, they're blocking for me. She's like, Nah, you're gonna get crushed. One of those guys on the offensive line, and I'm still cool with him, is Andrew Thomas. He was on my offensive line. And like, dude, when I tell you like it's just crazy to see like these guys really develop and just go to the next level. He's one of those guys. So I look back at it, and I'm like, wow, man. Like, and we did stuff, and you knew guys were talented, but just to see them go to the next level and get drafted that high, like, it's just a crazy story. So yeah, funny story is Andrew Thomas essentially is one of the guys who made my mother force me to quit playing football because she thought I was going to get crushed.
wow, wow. I mean, that is nuts. Listen, man. Sometimes that's. I think your mother was right. Let's save my baby for something special. Because
Yeah,
that's that.
I'm,
Wow, man.
I mean, so I'm no Giants fan, but I do root for him. I'm no Giants fan though, but I root for Andrew Thomas.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, listen, I didn't play a lot of organized stuff when I was younger, but I had a chance to play football at some point. And then there was my friend, growing up, his team, they had openings, and I was like, nah, I passed it up. And I wasn't even thinking about it that seriously, but I didn't know. Like I later in life, I found out. Well, not later in life, but later I found out that the team and the league that the guy was in was pretty damn serious. I mean, they were playing against a lot of guys who had a lot of talent, and one of them was Jonathan Vilma. And I was like, former Jet linebacker, former Saints linebacker. I was like, no, y'all take it a little too serious for me. I'm not messing with y'all, because he was a beast during that time. He was just up and coming and growing into his body. Oh, no, I'm okay.
Yeah, and
So
when you see those guys on the football field, you just know. Like if these guys who are now NFL players or like former NFL players, when you see them in high school, you just know that they're gonna make it to that level because they're just different. Like they approach the game different when they're on the field. It doesn't matter. They could be a special team. Yeah, you did call them
yeah,
Wonder. Yeah.
yeah, yep, that's right. Well, it's actually, I don't want to take credit for it. Shout out to my guy from the Utah Jazz podcast. That was his nickname from. He said the Wimbunyama Rama. That's what he called them. Um, so thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Corey Lee, thank you for tuning in, and being here. Listen, all we can hope is that the Knicks don't miss a beat coming into this game after having a good amount of time to rest. Hopefully, Jalen Brunson, who will play, is comfortable out there and it looks good, and his shot is not flat. And they just give a really good, solid effort against these Denver Nuggets. That's all we can hope for. I think Sam kind of called it out. The game plan should probably be let Jokic get what he's going to get, try to stop him, of course, but stop these other guys that he's looking to pass the ball to. Because if they get going, it could be a tough game. And can we get over the matinee jinx? Could we could we play some good basketball coming out in the matinees? Shout out to JT Riddick. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. Uh, as always, guys, I want to say thank you guys for the support from my wife's, GoFundMe and all that. We're still working to get her, the help and stuff that she needs, and I appreciate all the support and the retweets or putting that on your social media. So thank you once again. I didn't want to miss anything. No, I think I got everything. Thank you guys, and thank you, Jimmy Henry. Appreciate that. Oh, let me say this real quick. What is the reason Brunson's playing today? Number one is to show that he's a difference maker for our season. Number two, to make sure we secure the fifth spot. Me personally, I'm securing his contract. I hear you, Jay Boogie. I hear you. That's the most important. Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. Listen, I hope the Knicks win tonight. I mean today. But if they don't win, at the very least, I want them to play really good basketball and have a chance to win the game. Can't win them all, but play like you have a chance to win the game, and maybe things can turn in your favor. Sam, any final words?
Yeah, so for me, guys, the same as always, peace and blessings. Hope everybody's staying safe and healthy out there. It's a lot going on in the world today. And let's try to enjoy ourselves to some matinee Knicks. As always, Ron, I'm praying for everybody. So I've always kept your family and you in my prayers and stuff like that, even though I haven't been on the shows and stuff like that. School's been kind of hectic. I've had my spring break end this week, so I'll be back to solitary confinement, going to law school for the next 2 months. So I might be in the chats, but you guys might not see me on the panel for the next few months. But I'll definitely still be around if you guys want to hit me up or whatever. I'll be in the chats. So yeah, peace and blessings. I hope everybody enjoys their weekend.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, man. I'm wishing you the best, and thank you for the kind words, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. Sam, you're on the grind, man, and like I'm really happy to see you able to have a little time to jump on some of the shows right now, and just add some of your takes, and it's really cool to see you. But I know we're gonna lose you again, but it's for a good purpose.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the chat. Guys, smash that like button on your way out. I appreciate you guys as always. We got a good team, man. No matter what happens, understand the Knicks have been showing and proving this year. They have better record this year. They're 11 games over 500. Let's respect what they continue to do. Let's salute and honor our team and understand that, we got to ride or die with this team, and it's not, there could be worse teams that you have to ride or die with. So this Knick team is actually something that we can be happy about. So as I always say, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still, Knick fans, we'll be back again, whether it be on Saturdays at 11 a.m. for Know the Ledge with yours truly, Mondays for SKF Weekly with Ron, John, and my man Jose on the ones and twos holding us down, or Thursday nights at 8 p.m. on the NBK network, Nothing But Knicks, for the NBA report. So, guys, continue to have a great day. Blessings to you all. Let's watch this Knick game. Hopefully, they win. I'm hoping they win. And we'll see, man. Maybe they shock the world, and maybe somehow they go on a nice run, and we're able to get that 50 burger, which some people are hoping for. But I'll be happy with somewhere in between 45 and 48. I'm good with that, or 46 and 48. Let me say that. So either way, man. Salute to everybody. Thank you once again to Sam for joining me. Special. It was nice to have you here, brother. Appreciate you. Wishing you the best as always. Guys, listen, let's not get too down about all this stuff. This is the time where the devil's in the corner. He's trying to get under the Knick fan skin. Don't let it happen. We all right. We all right. All right, guys. Take it easy. I'll catch you on the next one.